Welcome back to Tiny Brick City. Today I want to extend the streets and figure out a way to hold everything together. Because a modular city is great, but not if it keeps falling apart. Last time we added a bakery to the city. Now we have a total of 3 buildings, but there are not enough roads to connect them all. So let's fix that. In a previous video I designed a street template. The whole idea of the template was I could copy it quickly whenever the city needed more space. So that's exactly what we're going to do. First, I need the right parts, as many as I can find. So let's go through my Lego collection and I might borrow a few pieces from my kids' builds. I don't think they will notice. Or maybe they will. But they have exactly what I need. Let's hope they're as happy with the extra streets as I am. Once everything is collected, I start building the street modules. So let's begin with the basic element. Now, let's see how many we can build. Nothing fancy here, just repetition. Not every part of the city needs to be unique. Sometimes consistency is what makes it believable. And that's everything I have. I think this should be enough. We also need an element for the middle part. I mostly use 1x1 tiles. Using 1x2 tiles would be more efficient, but 1x1 tiles tend to pile up over time. They often come as extra pieces in sets, and I simply have a lot more of them. I think that's enough. It's time to combine everything into finished streets. Let's see how many we can make. The end result is 4 new streets. Now that they are finished, it's time to place them in the city. It's nice to see the bakery finally connected to a street. And it immediately creates room for the city to grow further. But now that the city is getting bigger, I'm starting to notice something. When you touch the plates, they shift. They don't line up perfectly. Every time I fix it in one spot, a gap's open somewhere else. When I straighten the buildings, it's hard to keep the streets aligned. It's a small thing, but it keeps bothering me. I want a strong city, but still flexible. Something I can change, but without committing to a final version. Because the moment I stop adjusting it, the city stops feeling alive. But loose parts don't feel like Lego. Lego should connect, it should click, it should stay where you put it. So, this clearly needs a system. My first thought was the classic Lego modular approach. Pins on the side of the buildings. Some of the templates I used, like the pet shop, already have the holes in their side. And for those buildings, that system actually feels right. But you can't use it everywhere. Because it doesn't always work. The bakery is a good example. In this section, the plates shift by half a stud. So, if we add pins here, it won't align with the other buildings. And it becomes an even bigger problem when there's no wall at all. Like the streets, parks, or buildings that don't touch the edges. They can't be connected with this system. Another well-known solution is Mills plates. They are often used in large Lego cities. They are base plates reinforced with plates and bricks, and everything connects using pins in that layer. One advantage of working at a small scale is that I don't need to reinforce base plates. But the pins underneath are a great idea. We already add blocks under the buildings to match the height of the street. So let's replace those with pins. And let's also replace one block in the street, so we can connect them as well. Like you can see, there's a problem. A height difference. The buildings end up one plate higher than the street. I can fix this by raising the sidewalk with one plate. But that breaks the scale. And once you notice, you can't really unsee it. It technically works, but every time I look at it, I don't see a solution, I see the compromise. There's also a practical issue. You need space on the side to disconnect a module. And in the future, that might not always be there. Disconnecting a module in the middle of the city could become very difficult. For me, flexibility is too important, because the city will never be finished. And I don't want today's decision to limit what comes next. Together with the compromises, this system just doesn't work for me. For a short moment, I considered only connecting the streets, creating a grid that keeps the buildings in place. But that doesn't work for buildings on the side. And right now, those are the only ones we have. Maybe later, that idea will make more sense. But instead of making things more complex, I can also simplify things. It might not be the most elegant solution, but it's the one that works best here. I can simply add an extra plate underneath and connect the modules that way. Streets, buildings, everything fits. I still have a lot of 6x6 plates from an earlier version of the city, when that was the module size. Now I'm glad they have a purpose. They act as the glue that holds everything together. With this system, I can easily pick up a building and place it back down, like with this bakery. And because everything connects underneath, we no longer need pinholes on the sides. So we can replace them in the pet shop and make it look better from the side. Let's apply this system to the entire city. Everything already feels much better, now that it's all connected. And because the system is so simple, we can always change it later. The most important thing for now is that the city stays flexible. I can quickly rearrange streets, move buildings around, and test new layouts. And everything stays connected. I'm curious, how do you keep your buildings from shifting? Is there a system that I missed that fit better? With all new streets in place, the city starts to feel more complete. People can start moving to see things. After we have built them, of course. In the next video, I'll make the city more attractive for both residents and visitors by building a hotel and a bar. See you then in Tiny Brick City.